to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and joining me today as my guest is Annie Jones, who, among other things, is the president of the Frederick County Commission for Women. Welcome, Annie.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I'm happy for you to join me today, and I want to really start off by thanking you for your service to Frederick County by serving as the president of the Commission for Women. Can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I moved to Frederick County 9 years ago, but for the first 7 years that I was here, I was commuting every day of the week into Washington, D.C. for my job, and I really didn't feel like I had those deep connections here in the county. All of my personal and professional networks were in the D.C. area. So I joined the Commission for Women about 2 years ago to become more involved in the community, meet more people, and see how I can have an impact here where I live.
Okay. So what do you do professionally?
I work as an attorney for the federal government.
Okay. So, and I know you live downtown. I see you walking around in this wonderful downtown community. So it is a great place to live, even though you still have a distance to get to your job.
Absolutely. I love it here in Frederick County. My husband and I bought, when we were newlywed, we got married in Baker Park. We bought a tiny little row home in the historic district here in Frederick City, and we just love it here. And so it's a long commute in, but I only have to commute 3 days a week now, so it's much more manageable.
So tell us a little bit about the mission of the Commission for Women. I mean, I've been involved with them for a number of years, maybe even a number of decades, but Tell our viewers a little bit about what the Commission does.
Sure. So the Commission for Women was established in 1992, and the mission is to strengthen the community by addressing challenges and fostering unlimited opportunity for all women. So it's a fairly broad mission.
Okay. And I'm sure it's changed a little bit over time. You know, women, a generation before me, had certain challenges, and then my generation, and then the younger generation, I think there's has been a change so that it's a little bit easier for women to be involved in whatever they want to do, and the expectations have changed.
Sure, yeah. So one of our purposes is to serve as a resource for community members in whatever particular challenge that they're facing at that time. And we have a commission that's very broad and diverse. We have a college student that's a member of our commission, all the way up through women who are retired. And so we serve sort of as a centralized place that if you have a challenge that you're looking at addressing, you can come to us and we can help provide a referral. We have wonderful partnerships in Frederick County. The Commission for Women has a partnership with the Women's Center at Frederick Community College. They can provide great resources on education, employment, even health resources. We had originally established and still have a great partnership with the Women to Women Mentoring, Inc. They're now their own individual nonprofit, and they serve as a terrific resource here in our community for women who are 18 to 35 and are looking to address a particular challenge, and the way that they do that is through mentoring. And so it's a great opportunity for people who want to be mentors or people who are looking at making a change to sort of go through a goal-setting workshop and develop some strong relationships with some great women here in Frederick.
Now, I know the annual Leadership Alliance dinner is coming up.
Sure.
Can you share a little bit about the dinner and what happens?
Absolutely. So another one of the purposes of the Commission for Women is to promote a positive image of women in our community. And so one of the ways that we do that is through our annual Leadership Alliance dinner. And this year marks our 12th annual dinner.
Wow.
You were honored in 2009. We've been able to honor some really terrific women with our Women of Excellence Award that we offer each year. And one of the things I really love about our program, there's lots of different award recognitions throughout the county, but this is just really a chance for the whole community to come together and just focus on women. And so we honor a woman of excellence, but also an unsung hero. So this is a woman who sort of works more behind the scenes, maybe, the person who's always there, you can always depend on. So I love when we get to honor our unsung hero. And we do a student leader as well. And so this year's ceremony and dinner is going to be on March 24th, a Thursday, the Searsville Mansion at from 6 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. and tickets are still available for purchase.
Okay, so people can go to your webpage and find out more about it?
Absolutely, yeah. They could go to facebook.com/FCCFW, the Frederick County Commission for Women, and look at our events. Or if you just search for the 12th Annual Leadership Alliance Dinner Frederick, the Constant Contact registration link is one of the top items. Yeah.
Very good. I've been to many of them, and they're really nice events. And I do think it's nice that, sometimes people think you have to be, in a visible leadership position to make a difference in the community. And certainly we want to support women who are visibly in leadership roles. But there are a lot of people, a lot of women who accomplish a lot, who are a little bit more behind the scenes, but really can make a big difference in the community. I think everybody contributes, and so I really appreciate that you have come up with a way to recognize the unsung hero.
Absolutely. Yeah, this year we were able to start a new pilot program for student leadership development called She Leads. And that was exactly one of the things that we talked with the young women about, was how you don't have to be a born leader. You don't have to be the most extroverted, outgoing person to be an effective community leader. And we had our last session a couple weeks ago, and it was just so wonderful to hear from the students talk about how they were so pleased to learn how you could be a quiet leader, how you could be a leader in your community, and in ways that aren't necessarily the high-profile type A personality that people might think. And so that was really great.
So how do you get students involved in She Leads?
Sure. So we started this pilot program this year, and we had some really terrific support from Vice Principal Erin Phillips at Frederick High School and Guidance Counselor Christine Alexander, and they really helped us. We approached them this past fall, and they were very receptive. We sent a letter to teachers for distribution to teachers, looking for students who had high leadership potential. So these weren't necessarily students who were already head of student council, already the class president, but who had leadership qualities and had demonstrated personal characteristics like commitment to their community, care for others, those kinds of factors. And we were really overwhelmed. We had more than double the slots that we were able to fill of recommendations that came in. And we sort of had to set a first come, first serve, and there were people lined up at the guidance office door the next morning to turn in their forms to try to get into their program. So,
wow, that's fabulous.
Yeah, there's really a terrific demand. We've heard from parents at another high school in the county that are looking for us to try to bring our program there in a future year. So there definitely is sort of a demand for this type of programming.
That's really fabulous to really reach down to the high school students to give them some support and what they're looking for, because, again, they're the different generation. So
yeah, absolutely. And so it was just so fun to work with them on having them think through some of their strengths and go through the process of how they can set goals. And one of the best parts of the program was we got to take 9 of the students down to an annual conference that is the statewide Maryland Legislative Agenda for Women conference in Rockville, and the students got to participate in a day-long emerging leaders track with other students throughout the state, and they really thought that was fantastic to get to do that, so that was great.
Well, that's wonderful. What about the significance of Women's History Month and acknowledging, the role of women over time?
Sure. So it's interesting. I had done some research earlier this year to find out where commissions for women came from, and they came out of work in the 1960s. And President John F. Kennedy had established a commission on the status of women to take a look at how we could break down some barriers that women were facing in the workforce and just in life. And one of the recommendations of the 22-month study that they had done was that each state should establish commissions for women to address these issues on a more statewide basis. And so Maryland had a commission for women established in 1971, and they're still active. And then Frederick County, like I said, in 1992. And so it's just been kind of an interesting, so that's sort of like the recent history. But we have our Leadership Alliance dinner every year in March, just to honor all of the women who came before us and the path that they charted and all of the sacrifices that they were made so that I'm able to live the life that I do now and lots of other women in our county are and make the choices that are best for me and my family. So,
Well, I always stand in awe of some of the women who, in history here in Frederick County, because, it was a woman that started the fundraising for Frederick Memorial Hospital,
sure.
a woman who helped start Hood College. And so we really have some women who, stood out in our history when women really weren't encouraged to be in leadership roles.
Sure.
And so all the way to today, where I think the young generation of women have an expectation that they can just do whatever they want to do with their life. And that's really what we're hoping to accomplish, so that women can contribute in whatever way they feel is important to them. So
Absolutely.
anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so, no.
All right. Well, I hope that we'll see a lot of people at the Leadership Alliance dinner, and certainly if people want to get involved with the Frederick County Commission for Women, you do meet regularly once a month here in Winchester Hall, and people can find out more about you on Facebook.
On Facebook or through our website, exactly, yes.
Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to continuing to work with you through the rest of your term as the president for the Commission for Women.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today, and if you want to get involved with the Commission for Women, you can go to social media to make that connection, and I encourage people to attend the Leadership Alliance dinner coming up in March. Thank you for joining us.